Alright guys, welcome to the first video of the Flexbox bite-sized tutorial, where we're going to be learning what Flexbox is, how it works, and why we should use it. So first things first, what is Flexbox? So the Flexbox model, or usually referred to as Flexbox, is a one-dimensional layout model, and this is seen as a method that can offer good space distribution between items in an interface and gives us really good and strong powerful alignment capabilities. And when I'm describing Flexbox as being one-dimensional, I'm basically describing the fact that Flexbox deals with layouts in one dimension at a time, and this can be either as a row or as a column. So now we know a little bit more about Flexbox. What we got here is we're just going to have a quick look at a picture representation of the Flexbox model, just so we can really try and grasp and understand Flexbox from all different sorts of angles. So the way Flexbox works is that when elements are laid out as flex items, as these three are here inside this flex container, they're laid out along two axes. Now you've got a main axis here. The main axis is just the direction of flex items are being laid out in, and this can either be as a row horizontally across the page, as they are here, or as a column, which would be down the page vertically, and they'll just stack on top of each other like block items. And the start and the end of the axis are called the main start here and the main end. And a cross axis that you see here just basically runs perpendicular to the flex items, the way they've been laid out in, and the start and end of the cross axis similar to the main start and main end. And then you've got the flex container, or the parent element, and this acts as the name suggests, the container for your flex items. And how we initiate this in our style sheet in our CSS is just we set the display variable to flex, and then we can use other properties to align or lay out our flex items in many different ways. And the flex items in here then become flexible when you display flex on the flex container, and then these have different properties. We can lay them out in different ways too. So the next real logical question to ask is, why use Flexbox? Now, for a long time, the only reliable way for creating CSS layouts were things like floats and positioning. Now, these are fine and they do work, but in some ways they're also rather limiting and pretty frustrating. So before Flexbox, things like vertical centering were a real pain. Making all the children of a container take up an equal amount of available width and height was a pain. Making columns in multiple column layouts was a pain. So all these things were either really difficult or just impossible to achieve with older methods such as floating and positioning, and there was no real convenient or flexible way of laying out content. So Flexbox in many ways has been really rather revolutionary, and as you'll see in subsequent videos, Flexbox just makes layouts tasks so much easier. And in the next video, guys, we're going to be diving into VS Code, and we're going to be learning different properties for the flex container, and then looking at ways we can align our flex items inside our flex container. So if you guys like the content, please hit the like button, please consider subscribing, as it really helps the channel, and I'll see you guys in the next video.